things that I really enjoyed about the show is that there was that little twist or a little like shocking surprise at the end of every episode that was kind of like not expected, and you're like, oh, what? So that's what's happening now? Okay. Hey guys, it's Kristen. Happy holidays. I am rocking it out in my Christmas tree pajamas today. We are getting closer and closer to the end of the year, so today we are talking about my favorite TV shows of 2018. Woo! It's hard. Whew. The Good Place is one of my favorite shows that I started watching this year. It stars Kristen Bell as Eleanor Shellstrap, who dies and is sent to the Good Place, essentially heaven, but she knows that there's been a mistake and she doesn't actually deserve to be there. So she asks Chidi, her assigned soulmate and a former ethics professor, to help her be a better person so that she can earn her spot in the Good Place. So that's the main premise of the first season. The show has 3 seasons out and a 4th season is coming soon. Something that's really cool about this show is that the creator of it is Michael Schur, and he also worked on The Office, Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and something that he's really known for in his shows is breaking the mold of television writing and really focusing on diverse, larger casts that have a lot of breakout stars in them. And something else that's really cool about The Good Place is that he took a lot of inspiration from the way that Lost handled their twists and turns and cliffhangers and really modeled those moments after that show so that you really get a big impact and you're always like shocked and surprised, and the stakes are just always getting higher and higher. It's such a good show. I definitely recommend checking it out. In fact, season 3 had one of the coolest episodes of television I've seen this year called Damn It Janet, where they've had the actress who plays Janet play all of the different characters, and she really tapped into all of their different nuances and quirks, and it was so cool. Queer Eye was another great show that came out this year. It is a reboot of the Bravo show Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, and it features the Fab Five making over someone. The thing that's so great about the show is that they're not just making over someone, making them look nice, they are making over their life. They're making them feel good about themselves. The show is very heartwarming and emotional and uplifting and positive, and honestly, it makes you want to change your life. After I watched season 2, I did a massive cleaning of my room. It was great. I was like, wow, their impact. And so it's no surprise, of course, that the show's getting a 3rd season, and I can't wait for more heartwarming stories. Netflix recently revealed that On My Block was their most binge-watched original show of 2018, and I can totally understand why. The show is about a group of high school friends from an African-American and Hispanic community in South Central Los Angeles, and just kind of their journey through high school and growing up. The show was created by the same people behind All Eyes on Me and MTV's Awkward, and I feel like bringing those two forces together, that's exactly what this show is. The show is super diverse, it's funny, and they tackle what kids go through in high school in a really fun, relatable way. My favorite character had to be Jamal. I thought he was a standout, played by Brett Gray, and his character is just really goofy and funny, and he goes on this Goonies-esque mystery throughout the 1st season, and I just can't wait for season 2. Another show that I absolutely loved this year was The Haunting of Hill House, which is funny because at first it was not even on my radar, but I'm so glad I got to check it out because it really was one of the most incredible shows that came out this year. The show is a reimagining of the 1959 novel by Shirley Jackson, and it's really unique in that not only is it a ghost story, but it's also a family drama. The story is about the Crane family and their experiences at Hill House that have affected them back in 1992 as kids and in present day as adults. This is one of those shows that really draws you in because not only do they have a great cast and a really unique story, but there's also so many hidden Easter eggs and theories and connections that you can find just by rewatching the show over and over again. And this is another show that I think had one of the best television episodes of 2018, which was the Bent Neck Lady episode. That completely blew my mind. The way that they set up that story and the way that, you know, the timeline worked there and what the truth was behind the Bent Neck Lady, I am still floored by it. And that scene that shows the Bent Neck Lady dropping over and over and over again, oh my god. Crazy. Another episode of theirs that was really great was Two Storms. They had this really impressive setup where they were able to do one-shots for most of the episode, and that's a lot of work. It took them weeks and weeks so they could rehearse it and do the shots, and wow, like seriously, the show was just breaking boundaries all over the place. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina had to be the show that I was most anticipating this year, and it definitely didn't disappoint. The show is adapted from the Archie horror imprint comic series of the same name and follows Sabrina as she deals with being half witch and half mortal. I think the show did a really great job with their Archie comics references and their horror movie references. They had a great balance of the humor and the horror, and I think Kiernan Shipka is the perfect Sabrina Spellman. I think she did a really great job. So I'm excited for part 2, out April 5th! And speaking of horror, I'm a huge fan of horror anthology series like Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And so I was excited to find a new one on Netflix this year called Creeped Out. It's a British-Canadian anthology series where each episode is their own individual story, but they are all connected in that they are collected by this mysterious figure called the Curious. There were a lot of really interesting episodes, including one where a girl was really embarrassed by her parents and got them turned into puppets, where a girl is taken over by her cell phone, where an internet troll becomes an IRL troll, even one where a kid goes back in time and meets his dad when he's young. One of the things that I really enjoyed about the show is that there was that little twist or a little like shocking surprise at the end of every episode that was kind of like not expected, and you're like, oh, what? So that's what's happening now? Okay. I don't know if the show's getting a second season, but I really hope it does because it was a lot of fun. And finally, the last show I'm talking about today is Hilda, which had to be my favorite animated show that I saw this year. It's adapted from the graphic novel series by Luke Pearson, and it follows the story of a young girl named Hilda who is an adventurer. She's always meeting these mystical, magical creatures, and she moves from the wilderness to the city and thinks, oh, is there still gonna be like a lot of fun adventures to go on? And even though she's skeptical at first, it turns out there is. And this show was just really beautifully done. I think the art is gorgeous, and it was very magical and mystical and fantastical, and it just really sucked you in. I think the color scheme and the design and everything was just spot on, and I'm so excited for a season 2, which is coming out in 2020. So I would love to know, what were you guys watching this year? What was your favorite show of 2018? Leave a comment down below and let me know. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and click that subscribe button because they come out with new videos every week. See ya!